Pandas, 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 pandas. I got bras and Atlanta twisting dope. Pandas, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We just finished a pre-market show. Always have a great time there. But make sure you guys fill out that poll. Let me know what kind of day you think it might be today. And also drop a GM in the chat with your location. That would be great. Panda needs some engagement from you guys. Day trading, good morning. Roel, good morning. El Makoi. Sufian, good morning. Evzen, good morning. Evzen says, good morning everyone from the Alberta foothills where every day is a bear day. That's scary. I think that's one of my greatest, not my greatest fear, but that's definitely my greatest fear when camping, is that next thing you know, you wake up in like, you know, and all you see is like this bear on top of you. That's like probably one of like the scariest things I can imagine. And it's like, the thing is, it's like bears are confusing because every single bear is different. And it's like, you're probably wondering why a panda is scared of a bear. Like, am I scared of my own reflection? No, I'm not, of course. But what I'm saying is that if I happen to be in the presence of a bigger bear, you know, that is a little bit scary. Kellyanne, good morning. Sweet Onions, Marcos from Brazil, Tortos, Adashi, Mahdi, good morning, guys. Turtle's asking, are we rolling over yet? Well, let's look at the market analyzer. Right now, the market analyzer is saying that the daily volume is more on the 922 contract. It's about twice as much, but I think the 1222 is gaining on it. And so when it comes to the actual trading, the regular trading hours, it might actually might have more volume, because even though it's lower right now on the 1222 by just about 74K, when the market hours happen, it can actually gain faster. If it's like gaining on the 922, like the volume, if it's gaining on it, then as in it's moving faster than the 922, then it actually probably better to switch over, because of the fact that the volume's actually more during the regular trading hours. So if it starts to gain on it, right now the difference is about 75K, 78K. Around 78K. If it's like starts to gain on it, like if the difference is only at 70K when the market opens, then I think it's better to switch over. Even though currently right now there's more volume than 922, but if the 1222 is moving faster, then it's actually better to switch over. So we might switch over midstream today. Kind of annoying. That's kind of like an annoying thing about futures. If you guys don't know, NinjaTrader has a native way, like a native market analyzer. And so if you open the market analyzer, you can add the instruments and then add the column daily volume. And make sure you look up daily volume, not just volume, because it's a little confusing, because you're going to look for it in the list. And so you got to find it for daily volume, and then you can find out which contract has more volume. So that's a little tip for you if you guys are trying to figure out when to roll over. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Vincent Diaz, SW Blaze, good morning from Chicago. Tyler Malema, good morning from Minnesota. CJ, good morning. The Northern Turtle, good morning from Erdre, Albany, Canada. All right, market just opened, pandas. Let's get that bamboo. I'm keeping a close eye on the market analyzer. Actually, it's actually losing. on 922 is about 80,000 away now. It's actually, the 922 is moving faster currently. Kind of interesting. I was waiting for the difference to be around like 70,000 or maybe 50,000 even, and I'll switch over. Right now the 922 is moving faster, so I'm staying on 922 maybe for the rest of the stream. But midday you might want to switch depending on the volume. We're in a trading range right now. I mean, with a huge move up. I mean, this bull leg so far. If you didn't know, this big drop happened yesterday because of the news of the Queen, and from there we had a V bottom recovery. People got over it real quick. They're like, actually, we didn't know the Queen that well, and so now they're just pushing up. Daily chart currently bouncing off this buy zone here that we drew, and now we're at the 20 EMA on the daily chart. This could be a resistance, as in it can actually bounce off here and it'd be our first entry to bounce off. I thought we would make a two-leggy back here, but we made only one leg all the way back here, so I'm not sure if we're gonna get that two-leg pullback anymore. But we are at the 20 EMA on the daily chart. We have a double top currently on the overnight session. Coming back up to the top of the trading range, marked by the trading range indicator. There's a net change. That's awesome. This is why I love the community. There's a net change. Net change. What is this net change? 0.64 point. What does that mean? Net change. I'm not sure what that means. Chart net change. Whoa. All right. Okay. I'll look up that later. Right now, we're about 80K difference, and they're actually moving at a similar pace. So if you're on the 1222, it actually probably is not that bad. What you want to see is the amount of volume, like the rate of volume, let's say. Currently, we're in this trading range. I don't know. I don't like this long here. I don't like this long. It's the second entry long, but look at the first leg. First leg is way beneath the 20 MA. And now the second leg is above the 20 MA. I don't like it when the legs are on different sides of the 20 EMA. Usually indicates some sort of trading range. We're at the back to the top of this trading range. Could be a double top, and this could be another retest of this double top here. That's what bears want. Notice on the 10,000 tick that we are nicely bouncing off the 20 EMA. The 5 minute currently is just on its first bar, and it's a big gap right from the open, from the close yesterday of the regular trading hours to the open today. There's a big gap. We have a big bull bar with some follow through currently. Top of the trading range here. I mean, we could on the daily fly right through the 20 EMA. That would be a little surprising, but it could happen. I would think there would be some resistance here. Top of the trading range. If you want to trade this trading range, you need a lower high setup. I may trade a trading range here because the EMA is starting to flatten out, and so this to me indicates probably trading range rather than trend. We're beneath the 20 EMA now, and you need a setup. You need a lower high setup. We're not getting the lower high setup right now. It's just a straight leg down, and you notice where it bounced. Failed breakout of the trading range. I may take a lower high setup here, but know that any lower high setup ends up becoming a two-legged pullback, right? Could be a two-legged pullback. That's what the whole idea of the lower high setups are, is that you're trading against those who are doing the lower highs and the lower lows. That's a good signal bar. Looks bullish to me currently. There's a lower high setting up here. I don't know if I like this anymore. All right, first entry long. It's working out nice. Strong bull bar ending near its high. Yeah, so this looks kind of bullish to me, so it's kind of hard for me to go to the lower high. Strong bull bar ending near its high, but no follow through. Disappointing follow through. Bulls are probably wondering, will they get their next leg up here? You didn't hear anything. Corsi thinking that was a good trade. I don't know about that. I'm not sure about that at all. Hindsight, yeah, you see it. You do have a second entry long here, but starting to get a little choppy. You are finding resistance here. You can see the double tops trying to form. We're clearly above the 20 MA now. Most seen as, in my opinion, what's the difference between a range and consolidation? I don't know. I feel like they're similar. It really depends. I mean, you might say consolidation might be a little smaller. Ranges can be large. So this is the lower high setup I was talking about coming at the top of the trading range. And someone said that that was a bad trade or a good trade that I missed, and I don't think so. I think this could have easily happened where we're at the top of the trading range and we can come back down to the bottom of it. You know, when you're in the range, it's hard to tell. You cannot tell what's going to happen here. And that's why ranges are confusing, because you don't know when they're going to break out. Big bear bar ending on its low, but no follow through. Disappointing follow through. We're still at the top of the trading range. So hard to say here. Yeah, I guess consolidation and range. I think every consolidation is a range, but maybe not every range is a consolidation. Ranges I feel like can be large. So you can have a trading range day where the entire day is a trading range, but you can also have a small range, right? Small range like this. You can have like a big range and smaller ranges in the range. Consolidation to me, I think has more to do with when I think of consolidation, I think of like a big move up, and then some consolidation, getting ready for the next big move up or down. You know, that's what I'm thinking consolidation is. Ooh, it's a trap trade to the short side. This, I think, actually might be a decent trade here. A decent. This setup is decent. I don't know. Yeah, I probably should have taken that short. I was explaining consolidation difference, but also you got an inside bar. These can act as support here, these couple wicks here, but this does end up making you a nice scalp here, 2 points. Someone mentioned that you need to make a new high before taking shorts. In a consolidation, that's not true. When you have in a range, that's not necessarily true. In a range, you can have a lower high setup and it can work out. So here you can actually look for reversals, but if you do wait for the higher low or the higher high, I would say that's probably a higher that probably has a higher probability of working out. But you trade it with I guess missing the opportunity, we'll say. So now we're going sideways here, going in and out of the 20 EMA. Hard to tell what direction it's going to go. I mean, it looks like it wants to make a trading range. And it looks like, it wants to come back down. On the 5 minute, we have a big push up. Strong bull bar ending near its high. No follow through. No follow through. All right, the volume on the 922 is getting significantly larger than the 1222. So I think right now the better contract definitely is the 922. Completely sideways. This is 50-50 at this point. Look how many overlapping bars we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 overlapping bars.
Five-minute trap.
I know a lot of people are probably tempted to take that long, but it's tricky. It's choppy right now. It's a limit order market, so I'm sitting on my pause. For those who went long here, thoughts and prayers to you. You're sweating. You're definitely sweating now. You just got stopped out. Big push down. You have 1, 2, 3 attempts to push up here, and that fails. Terrible signal bar. Hard to take that trade, but ends up working out. big push down back to the bottom of the trading range as mentioned. You know, this was our destination. Once we hit the top, you know, the reason why I didn't want to go long again because this was the destination to go short. One, two, three attempts to break out. Nevertheless, I'm not taking that short trade. I mean, that's a really hard short to take against this bar. And you're still in consolidation if you're to take it. You're kind of thinking now you might finally be out of a limit order market and we might be able to find some direction here. Bouncing from the bottom of the trade. Are we going to come back to the top, pandas? Hey, I've seen it before. I've seen crazier things. Bottom of the trading range back to the top of the trading range. Trading range indicator marking the bottom of the trading range beautifully for us currently and the top of it. Man, on days like on trading range days, the trading range indicator is it works wonders. It's quite amazing. It's kind of like if the trading range indicator is really working, you're kind of like, all right, maybe it is a trading range day. Big bull bar ending on its high. See if there's some follow through to back to the top of the trading range here. Pandas. Taro tells us I had 104 fever on Wednesday. I'm hoping the part of my brain that just got good at reading charts didn't melt because I don't know. Oh, pandas, look at this. Bottom of the trading range, right back to the top of the trading range. I mean, come on. You gotta give some credit to the trading range indicator here. A little bit of credit. I watched recently like a special on like savants, and there's this thing called you can become an acquired savant. It usually happens through some sort of traumatic event like a brain injury, a seizure, something like that, something traumatic happening, and all of a sudden like you gain this superpower, like this brain superpower, and I was like watching it. I was like, man, if I had like, I almost went to Mrs. Panda. All right, just whack me in the head right here. This is where this person got hit. So whack me in the head right here. Maybe I'll have the ability to just read charts perfectly after this. Mrs. Panda didn't comply. She just looked at me kind of weird. Norton Turner asked, does anyone have techniques for maintaining focus? When I first started trading, I'd be lucky to focus for half hour. A year later, I can now do 2.5 hours before my brain wanders. Maintaining focus. Yeah, I guess that's also something that you can train yourself in. I think some people are better than others. Typically, if you're like good at studying in school, you probably have good focus. Yeah, everyone's different. That could be a weakness for a lot of people. I think to get better, I don't know anything specifically to do to get better at focusing other than trying to focus on something for a long time, such as reading charts. But other than that, there probably are a lot of techniques out there though. Toronto says, what's a savant? I would say, if you don't know what savant is, look it up. It's fascinating. It's actually, Charles Pope says, my wife wouldn't pass on that offer. Oh yeah, there's also drugs. Drugs do help. Ritalin, and there's another one. What's the other one? I think there's Ritalin, and there's another drug that helps you focus, and one of them like helps you focus in like a short spurt of time, and then it kind of wears off, and the other one lasts longer, but you can't focus as long. I've never taken any of those drugs. Adderall, that's right. Ritalin and Adderall. Both of those drugs are like really good for focusing, and honestly, I feel like it's like the limitless pill. It's prescription drug, but I've heard people who've taken it, and they said that they feel like Superman, like in terms of being able to do what they want to do. They can just like when they want to do something, they just do it. Like it's absolutely incredible. That's what I heard. But I'm not encouraging anyone to obviously take these drugs because I think being dependent on anything is going to be unhealthy in the long run. But I heard stories like taking these things. It's a new steroids for e-gaming, e-gaming. Like actual sports or physical sports, we'll say. Some people might be offended if I say actual sports, but physical sports, steroids are what give you that competitive advantage. I think in like the esports world, gaming world, the steroid would be the equivalent would be Adderall, Ritalin. Yeah, this is what I heard. I never taken it, nor am I planning to take it, but this is what I heard. Do you think, pandas, that the human race, the advancement of the human race is being thwarted because of the fact that we cannot take these like like enhancement drugs that enhance our senses? Like if there's a drug out there that can help you focus and study better and maybe retain more information, then do you think that is stopping the human race from advancing? I was thinking, like, what if you just allowed it all to happen? You just allowed every athletic, no regulations. Every athlete can just take as much steroids as they want. You'll have the most insane football games. Like people will be like I don't know what that would even look like. That I think it would look crazy. Everyone will be getting straight A's in school. You know what? I think what's happening is because I've been rewatch. I finished Better Call Saul, and I'm rewatching Breaking Bad. So I think I'm kind of like thinking about all these like drugs and stuff. But I personally I've never taken any type of substance, but other than some whiskey. But other than that, I'm pretty clean in terms of that. So I don't know. So to me, it's just even more fascinating. But yeah, I've been watching Breaking Bad again. I think my mind's just on it. And Breaking Bad is such a masterpiece. I think it's my third time going through it, and it's just I can watch the whole thing I think through in one sitting. NJ says you don't think pros take things like steroids already. I definitely think they do. It's just if it's unregulated, then I think there's people like because of it, they're kind of hesitant to take it, and maybe not everyone takes it at extreme dosages, but do not do drugs, ladies and gents. Pandas, do not do drugs. I'm just saying, I'm not endorsing any type of drugs, but I'm just saying that's just what it is. That's what it's like. Yeah, don't we have Jerome Powell? Did he already speak? Was that like 9:10 or something? Yeah, we don't really have any other high impact news. Jerome Powell already spoke. Top of the trading range. You might come back to the bottom of the trading range here. It's hard to trading, and this is very choppy. This is a limit order market. Gets chop, V bottom, chop. No setup for me here. Looks Odus says, are we still on September? Let's take a look. I am currently trading September. And I think it is, yeah. Right now, September is definitely higher volume. It's about 100K more. It's more than, it's about 90K more, 91K. And the distance is just getting greater between the two contracts. So definitely the volume is more on 922 for now. I'm just waiting. I have no setups here, and it might be like this for the rest of the day. And it might be 2 streams where I don't take any trades, which is unfortunate. Because content. I want to give you guys content if I can give it, but you can also take only what the market gives you. And when you're trading real money, it's, you know, you definitely want to pick and choose your setups here. And knowing that you're in a trading range right now, it makes it difficult to go long anywhere near the top. If people were so sad about the Queen passing away, you know, rest in peace. But if that was true, then why did we have this huge bull run yesterday? Huge bull trend yesterday. It seems like people are happy about the Queen. If the market was really telling us how the, you know, how people feel about news, then it's telling us that people were so happy about the Queen passing away. They're sad for like 1 second. Turtle Toes just brought my Eva back from the dead. Break even positive 200. Angel, hey Panda, your content is market analysis. You don't have to take trades. We love analysis. Thanks for your help, man. Hey man, appreciate that. All right, so we do got a nice move up back to the top of the trading range. Now breaking out. We're above now. Strong bull bar ending on top. Let's see if there's follow through here. We need follow through. No follow through, then, you know, you basically expect breakouts to fail unless there's strong follow through afterwards. Without that follow through, it's very hard to trade. If you notice here, you could have a break a trend to new high, and also here break a trend to new low, reversing here. These short-term trend lines is kind of what you want to look for at the moment. Possible measure move. Now there's follow through on that big bull bar ending near its high. Let's see if traders start to convert to always in long trades. Almost a measure move from this move down to the pullback to the top here. Higher time frames, we do have a two-leggy on the higher time frames forming. The 5-minute basically just creates a small two-legged pullback in midair. A, B, C, right? This is a two-legged pullback. Two-legged pullback here. A, B, C. Push up here. Unfortunately, it's not anywhere near a key area, but does create a two-legged pullback.
Trap.
The 10K chart does create a two-legged pullback as well. Higher, I guess it's a higher low. A, B, C. Two-legged pullback coming off the 20 EMA here. Strong bull bar ending near its high. Let's see if there's follow through. A new high is already created of the day, right? We broke the overnight high. Notice pandas also on the daily chart. We are at the 20 EMA. Are we going to just break right through it? Quite possibly. We can. I think that'd be more surprising than actually finding some consolidation here. But the higher time frames are suggesting we are on a strong move up. Strong bull bar ending on its high on the 10,000 tick chart. 5-minute chart, strong bull bar ending on its high, looking for follow through. To me, we just broke, you know, I'm just looking up setups on the 2000 tick chart, but I'm using the other charts to see, you know, the big picture here. We got a measure move. Measure move was hit plus passed. We went through the measure move. Went larger than the measure move. Very hard to time a setup like this. In fact, we had a two-leggy here, and the two-leggy fails, and then finally that failure fails. Basically double trap. Big push up, strong bull bars, any on the high, always in long. No setups for me. You can see here the bar timer. This is an indicator that basically times on tick charts or any non-time charts how long it takes for the candles to be made. And this candle here took about 1 minute to be made, but these candles that follow through, you can see that they are finishing very quickly. This one took about 30 seconds to finish here. And you can see the momentum through the time as this goes lower. This shows the kind of, I guess, a volatility of how fast this is moving, because this is, these charts or these candles are finishing very quickly here. I'm trying to figure out a way to incorporate the bar timer here. I think maybe that's one way to track momentum. It's kind of like on a time chart to see how much volume there is in the time. To show volatility here, we look at the like a volume chart basically, essentially, and we look at the time to see the volatility, or how quick do these candles form. And they're forming very quickly right now. Could be a trap trade here. Feels like entry short, far away from 20 MA, hard to take that trade, but the market is currently always in long, so almost any long could be successful. But you have greater chance if you're actually off of some sort of support here. I'm going to take the indicator off just because it takes space on the charts, and the space is quite precious here. It almost traps, fails like entry short. To look at pullback, back to the 20 man. Let's see if we get it. If we get a two-legged pullback, I'll put a poll up to see if we get a two-legged pullback here, what would you do if we get it off the 20 MA? It needs to be off a key area here, and so I'm gonna wait for 20 MA. I can't take this long here, it's getting a little choppy. What we essentially want at this point is a two-legged pull back to the 20 MA, and also it will act as a failed breakdown of this trading range. So we have kind of two things going for us: a failed breakdown of the trading range, plus, right, we're at the bottom of the trading range and we're trying to get back up to the top of it off the 20 MA. Let's see if the market will be so kind to give us a setup here. Let's see if we get a two-leggy here. Turtles asks, would I take it? It really depends, but I am eager to go long here, so I would try to take it. The one thing that's stopping me from wanting to go long here is on the daily chart. We're at the 20 MA, we're kind of breaking through it, so this can be a failed breakout of the 20 MA. That's one thing that's stopping me, thinking we might reverse here, but who knows. I'm just like more surprised if we even get the setup at this point, because it looks like it wants to break out here. Like we might not even get the setup. Market momentum is just too strong. Potentially could still make a two-legged pullback here. Okay, we have a chance. We shall see. Getting very choppy here. I mean, I know what setup I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for two-leggy. It's just I'm kind of anxious to see if the setup will even happen. And it looks like it's going to go on without us. So we don't get the setup here, pandas. Now if we get it, it's getting a little choppy. Right? We're going back and forth here at this point. We'll have to wait for another two legs here. Back to 20 MA. The reason why I said I lost it is because the count reset. The moment we broke this pivot high, the counts reset, and so now we're back to 1 here. And this 1 means that it's the first, actually it means, yeah, it's the first pullback, basically. And Petrichar says, but a bar timer won't show volume and that it doesn't show the size of the contract size of the positions. Rather, it shows how long it takes for 2,000 contracts to be executed. Exactly. So we don't need the bar timer to show us the volume because we see the volume here, right? We're trading volume. We're trading the price action of the volume. And so that's why that would be redundant. So, if I showed you a volume graph on the bottom here, it's going to be basically flatlined because every bar is basically around 2,000. Well, it's not 2,000 contracts, it's 2,000 transactions. So that's also another thing. So this is basically volume, but it's not exactly volume. But it's pretty much going to be like the same. Like almost every single bar is going to be like what, 3,000 contracts or something, 3,000 or 4,000 contracts. No setups for me whatsoever here in all of this time. You might be wondering why I haven't taken any trades. Because there's no setups. If there's no setups, I don't take the trades. Pushing down. Are we looking for a two-leggy back at the 20 EMA here? Is it possible? The problem is that we had this failed breakout, and this can lead to a reversal here. It's a little sketchy, and the uptrend is not as clear and clean as I would like it. Depending on how you draw your trend line, this can be a break of trend to new high. Chris says that's a 3 entry short on my countdown first. Yes, it is a 3 entry short. You can see here, there's a 3 here. So this reversal, right, is a, you can count it as a 3rd entry or a 2nd entry short. To me, any entry beyond 2 is basically a 2nd entry. It's a 2-legged pullback. It's a chain of 2-legged pullbacks. Balancing off the 20 EMA quite nicely here.
Trap.
We may get our 2nd entry long here. I don't like the shape of this at all. You know, it's basically a wedge at this point where it can reverse, and you know, this could be a trap here. So, you know, one thing to notice, or one thing to be able to recognize when you do 2-legged pullbacks is where are good places for traps, and this is potentially one of them. Coming after a wedge here, you can have a trap trade, but we do have now our next reversal will be a 2-legged pullback. I guess I could put the pullback up to see if you guys would be interested in this one. I wish there was a way to like quickly pull up pulls. I'm doing these manually. If you see a 2nd entry long here, so now any reversal at this point will be a 2-legged pullback, will be a 2nd entry, right? Because our 2nd pullback has happened according to an indicator, right? This 2 means there's 2 pullbacks, right? This 3 means there are 3 pushes up, right? That's what these numbers mean. How many pullbacks there have been, right? So this has been 2 pullbacks so far. If we get a good signal bar here, for me, I feel like it'd be better if it actually pushes below here, so we can at least do a failed breakout or breakdown of the trading range here. This is starting to look like a wedge, lower high setup, and if we get the 2nd entry long actually up here, that's a little difficult because there's not enough room to the top of these pivots. So it'd be hard if it's actually high. I actually want the 2nd entry long to trigger a little lower here, so we have some room to the top of these pivots here. You can trade this long micro double bottom. Basically, if I don't have enough room to the top of the trading range, I can't take it. I need to push this a little bit further, so you can trade it as a failed breakout of this consolidation, of this small range. And you can hope and bank on the fact that most trading range breakouts, they fail. So we're going to try to use that to our advantage here if we can. But right now, it looks like the 20 EMA is flattening out, and it's hard to find any direction here. Tight trading range at the moment. Okay, Okay, second entry long does trigger, but there's not enough room to top of these pivots here, so I cannot take this trade. But that is a second entry long. Good signal bar, but right now we're in the consolidation. We're at the top of the trading range. Hard to take this. We are in an uptrend. We also have a wedge top. So you have things that can make it so you can fail. If this works out, it works out. I'm going to miss it, but there are the reasons why I didn't want to enter, because you have these pivot highs here. Right, top of the trading range, starting to go sideways. 20 EMA starting to go sideways. Now it's rising because of the fact that this bar is going up. But to me, it's a little difficult to go long there. It's a good signal bar though, very good signal bar. Risk is a bit large, 3.5 points, but it can work out for you. Scalp does work out. Second entry long. Decent signal bar. It's a little tough. I don't know. I mean, strong, bold move up to it. It's the first second entry long coming off the 20 MA. This is your signal bar here. It's overlapping. You have these pivots blocking you from getting that that point. They could have acted as resistances. I mean, this could be just a forever uptrend day today. And if it is what it is. But, you know, those are the reasons why I didn't enter those trades. That trade does work out for you though, quite nicely. So anyone who took that, congratulations. With hindsight bias, we can see that this does work out. But at the time, it started to go sideways on me, right? It started to look like trading range. And if I were to go long here, I'd be going long at the top of the trading range. This is the reason why I didn't enter this trade. Now, if you are so mad that you missed it, then please take this setup every time you see it, right? Take the setup every time you see it. And I want to see how it works out for you. But for me, from my experience, I've seen things start to curl over like this, and I don't take these longs. Right? There's not enough room to these pivots. Right? Every single one of these pivots can be a reversal. So this is why I don't go long here. It ends up being a successful scalp, but now we're back in our trading range. At any point, this is going to break a trend to new high. Depends on how you draw this. Yeah, I don't know how. You can't cheese this trend line at all for that to work out. I mean, you could do this, but That'll be a really random trend line to use. Really random trend line to use. Trading range indicator marking us a trading range. So for me, you know, trading range indicator on days that are choppy, I mean, you got to pay attention to them, in my opinion. Here, it was giving us hints. This might have failed. So for me, if I enter a trade and if I lose it, and I get pissed off because I realize, man, there's all these things, that to me, you know, the feeling of like, if I, you know, in my mind, like, if I lose this trade, would I be mad? If I lost this trade, I would be angry at myself because I saw the trading range indicator. I saw, you know, these pivot highs. I saw this starting to get choppy here, right? And all these overlapping bars starting to be created with this two-leggy. You know, I have all these reasons why I didn't want to enter that trade. So if I went long here, I'll be pretty angry at myself. If I enter a setup and I lose it, and I'm like, okay, I'm actually fine with losing that trade because that was such a good setup, then actually I like those setups more, right? Even if I lose, I'd rather lose a good trade than win a bad trade. Of course, with hindsight bias, we can say this works out for us.
10,000 tick trap.
But when it starts to get sideways like this, starts to consolidate like this, right? When you see this consolidation starting to happen, the trading range, and even the trading range indicator is marking the trading range for us. It's very difficult for me to go long right there. Now, if we did have a trend line, I'll be willing to change my thought on that, but there's no trend line here you can really take. Unless you like randomly use this one and just ignore the fact that we broke beneath here. It's a little weird to do that, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. Trading range indicator marking the trading range beautifully for us. And this is why I didn't want to go long here, because this could have failed. It could have failed. Here we have potential reversal setup, where we have a break of trend to new high. To me, it's going too sideways for me to take any trades again, right? This is the market that we're in. We have a huge push up, and then it starts to go sideways. It's just hard for me to enter any trade here. You know, do you want to take the second entry long? Big risk here. A, B, C going in out of the 20 MA at this point, going sideways, overlapping bars. Hard for me to go long here. Can't do that trade. Yeah. If we drew a trend line, it makes more sense. Now, it's pretty close to it. At this point, it kind of is. But, yeah, it's a little too much noise right now on the charts. Chris says, see you all on Monday. Have a good weekend. This type of market gets me every time. Not falling victim today. Hey, if you know yourself and you know the market, then that's all you really need to know. If that's the case, hey, that's the best thing you can do. I'll see you Monday, Chris. Devin Brasher says, your 2000 tick chart is off. I reloaded my historical. I don't know if you guys are seeing different tick chart as well. Let me know if you're Your charts look different than mine. I typically like it to be exactly the same as most people's. But right now, I reloaded the historical already today, so we got an inside bar breaking down. Some people were waiting for this. This could be a failed breakdown of this trading range, and we come back right back up into it. We can see the 20 MA starting to curl downwards now. Thanks for the chart check. He's using 1222. Come on, man. Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta waste time like that on my stream? We are on 1220. We are on 922 still. Ooh. But pandas. We've caught up significantly on the 1222. The 1222, I believe, is actually moving faster now than the 922. Very interesting. So you have difference is about 60K now. Okay, so it's significantly caught up. About 60K. In my opinion, if it hits 60K, ooh, actually moved up a lot quicker. I may switch over to 1222. It seems like it's moving up quicker. Right now it's about 60K different. It's catching up significantly here. It's about 58K different. I may switch over soon. I'm gonna switch over at 10:30 pandas to the new contract to 1222. It looks like it's moving faster. Right now, if you look at the daily volume, it's lower, but it's moving quicker. It's like it's catching up to it. So since it's catching up to it, that means it's more volume on that. Yep, definitely, it's definitely catching up to it. All right. I'm going to go ahead and switch it over at around... I'll just switch over now. Switching over to 1222s. Now let's see. Let's see if that trend line works here. Still, the trend line does not work. So I don't know which trend line this person. It doesn't make sense. Maybe they use this pivot low. Just ignore the fact that this broke down here. Maybe then trend line. All right. Switching over to 1222. It is moving quicker now on the... Yep, definitely caught up a lot on the... Yep, switching over. I think most people are switching over now. It's about 50K difference. But no matter, the price action is still pretty terrible. Straight up doo-doo. And if it looks like doo-doo, just don't play with it. A, B, C. Bottom range back to the top of trading range. I don't know. Maybe this trend line was it. I don't know. I miss it if it was. Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with missing a trend line. I'm always willing to learn. But drawing this trend line and seeing this break here makes me feel a little weird. Like, I don't know. I don't know, you tell me. It's a weird trend line to keep if I saw that break. Still no clear direction, no clear setups for me. And again, if I have 0 trades today, I'm fine with that. Turtles asks, how do you roll over? You can simply just type in ES1222 the top left. If you're using NinjaTrader, literally just type that in the top left. You can just type it in and it'll bring it up. Trap, fails against your short, triggering here. Trading range, price action. Hard for me to take this trap. Hard for me to predict when the trend will start at any moment. I'm not going to predict when a trend will start. I need to enter once a trend has started. That's what the whole point of two-legged pullback is in the high probability trade. You enter the momentum with a certain trend. Trading ranges, you want to trade failed breakouts, failed breakdowns. But right now, hard for me to enter this long. It's a fail second short, but there's no clear direction of anything right now. In fact, we're still in trading range. This could be a break a trend to new low, and we can have a two-legged pullback here. I mean, I definitely wouldn't go short here, I guess, maybe because of that. A, B, C. A two-legged pullback failure could be a nice uptrend here, potentially. Ends up working out for you, giving you scalp off of that fail second to short. For me, it's hard for me to trade any trades that look like this, where you have basically overlapping bars and you're going in and out of the 20 EMA. So for me, it's hard to enter any trades here unless we start to clearly have a direction. Now, if we actually have a direction here, then I may be more interested. But if there are two-legged pullbacks that happen in consolidation like this, I typically don't like to enter. Right now, this is a market that I typically get chopped up in, and I do not like trading in markets like this, which is unfortunate, right? Because you have basically consolidation early on, then a big move, and then consolidation straight to another consolidation, just going sideways. So hard for me to find any setups here. And I understand people think, hey, I might have missed some good trades. With hindsight bias, very obvious. But while you're looking at it, I've explained every single thing of why I didn't want to enter the trade. And so I don't know what else to tell you other than rewind and watch and realize, you know, why I skipped those trades. Ted Rajnes asks, why is the short-term price different? You probably are still on 922. I think officially now, 1222 has more volume and is moving in a, it's moving with more volume. So I think it's time to switch over. Anthony Lawson says 922 has slightly more volume than 1222. That's not what's important. What's more important is what the rate of the volume. Right, what's the rate? And I saw 1222 catching up to 922, which means that more people are trading now, currently on the 1222. So Yurizani says, but if you have been waiting for those setups, why not take them when so clear? Again, I suggest you rewind and listen to all the things I've been saying, and I tell you exactly why I don't enter trades. I tell you exactly why I want to enter trades, and that's the whole point of the stream. So if you're wondering why, rewind it and you can watch it, and then you'll get your answer. I guess my question is, why don't you just rewind and watch it? Everything's explained. Iron Crew says, finally entered a trade, now I'm done. Congrats. We've been grinding upwards, as you can see with the higher time frames. Like, we definitely been going up on the higher time frames. We're still bullish. 5-minute chart, right? All we have is a strong, basically imagine a big bull bar here ending on a tie and follow through. Follow through here, 4 pushes up. And it's 99% chance we'll sometime today hit the 20 EMA, but just don't know when that's going to happen. Nasir Rahimi says, Panda, you're a good trader. I think the strategy is holding you back. You always get the direction of the market right. Dang, FZen, rewind, rewatch, realize. Whew. Whew. I mean, hey, there's these sparks of geniuses from you guys, and I think that was one of them right there. Nasir, do appreciate it. Yes, the two-legged pullback does kind of hold you back in terms of when you want to enter a trade, because it's very specific setup, and sometimes hard to come by, especially with strong trends. Actually, it's kind of annoying because oftentimes a mark of a strong trend is that first entries continue the trend. And so if you're on like the super strong trend, actually the first entries are showing you that it's very bullish or bearish. So waiting for that second entry sometimes does, hold you back, but you want that higher probability setup. That's why we want to enter for the second entries. So Hugh is saying, well, it's hard to see in this. It doesn't look as good here. I feel like it looked better in the 922, but essentially here is a setup that the controversial setup of the day. You could have potentially had a break a trend to new high here, and we could have a reversal trade. We're also at the time it was going in and out of 20 MA. Also at the time, on at least on the 922, there was not enough room to the top of the pivots. I don't want to switch back to the 922 because it's gonna have to reload all the chart again, the whole chart. So I'm not gonna go back, but there are a lot of reasons why I didn't want to enter. Now, were there reasons to enter? Of course there are reasons to enter. For me, I actually care about more of the reasons not to enter. And so if I have, a couple reasons not to enter, I typically don't enter it. So, that prevents me from entering a lot of trades, but hopefully the trades I do enter are high quality. Yeah, Stephen H, of course, like you have the match between or you have the balance between entering trades with less probability. But then I think, in my opinion, I have to swing. I have to like start swing trading. If I really want to enter setups like that don't require the two-leg pullback, I'll do a lot more swing trading, and yeah, where I'll really just forget about even the two-legged pullback, and I just trade ranges and see, oh, bottom of the range, I'll trade anywhere here, go long anywhere here, have a large stop loss. If it starts to go against me, then just stop out. Or, if I get a higher low setup, something like that. I don't know. It'll be very intuitive and based on feeling. Which is like not something you want, right? I'm also was thinking about trading some supply and demand stuff, but I realized I can just incorporate that in the trading that we have now. And days like this, it's kind of hard to find that supply demand zones, because typically for like supply and demand, you need a strong reversal to show you where the supply and demand is. Rather than reversal, really, you need a strong move to one way or another. You need strong breakouts to mark those demand zones. Getting a strong move up here. I mean, clearly uptrend. Clearly uptrend, but clearly no setups. Right? No second entry longs here in all of this move. And if there was a second entry long here, but it's ugly. Very ugly. Salvatore says, just past the 25K eval with extra $66 on the day. Gonna walk away for now. Thanks, Panda, for inspiring me. Hey, congratulations. Got that bamboo. Hey, at least someone got bamboo today. When days like this where it's an obvious trend, but the trend doesn't, produce any setups, they're very frustrating days, especially when you're streaming. Like, trust me. I want to enter trades, and especially being on stream, like, I feel the pressure to enter trades more than anyone, I feel like. But for me, I'm trying my best to be disciplined, and if I find things that I don't like, the pivots are blocking me, or if there's resistance up ahead, I don't like to enter, and it is what it is. I'm going to just put a quick poll up to see how everyone else is doing, and hopefully you guys are doing better than me. I'm flat for the day, and it's unfortunate because we obviously have a big move up, but also in this big move up, we had a big move down, which means that, if you're going to enter long here, like, what would have been your strategy to enter long into this uptrend? Like, would you have been willing to buy up here and hold all the way down here, just thinking that, of course, we're going to have an uptrend day today. I don't care how far down we go. It's just like, what strategy would you have used in order to really capture, to be part of this big uptrend? And so, that's a question for you guys. Even though we see an uptrend, we also see in this uptrend some consolidation, which means that people will get chopped up here, have a difficult time to enter in, because they're wondering, when will this consolidation end, and when will this uptrend continue? Because this could have gone a lot longer than this. It could have. It didn't, but it could have. And so, being flat for me today is to me, it's a victory. I don't mind. I really don't mind. It's one thing to say, right? It's one thing to say, hey, I didn't enter any trades. It's obviously long. Why didn't you make any money? You gotta be nuanced, right? Where would you have entered? What setup would you have liked? I marked one here, but I also explained why I didn't like it at the time. And so it's just, you can't just say, okay, hey, it's an uptrend, and you can't make money today, then it's like, then you're a bad trader. In my opinion, no, you're a bad trader, because you can't explain to me, other than saying with hindsight bias, hey, which way the market was going, why didn't you make money, rather than you have to say, okay, this setup here, this is where you buy, this is where you should put your stop loss, this is where you put your target, this is the strategy that I'm using. With that kind of explanation, I'm saying, sure, okay, that's good, I'm glad. Yeah, Salvatore says you should not strive to take better trades. Focus more on eliminating bad trades. That's what Al Brooks says. Everyone takes good trades, but it's when you can take away the bad trades is when you start to make money. That's what Al Brooks saying. Yeah, Frank Martin says he had a swing trade, so like days like this would be good for swing trading, I think, because even if you lose, your winners would be so good that yeah, it doesn't matter if you took a loss, because your winners would make up for it plus more. So days like this where it's like trending, good swing trade days. Yes, I've read all Brooks' books. Also part of his books trading course online. If you guys haven't taken a look at his trading course, I would highly recommend it. There's a link in the description. It is an affiliate link, but I barely make any money off of that. It's more of a link for you guys to get access to that. I could care less if you use it or not, but it's there for you guys, and I highly recommend it is worth its weight in gold times 1,000. I think it's just amazing value for the amount of knowledge that you gain from it. But also pandas, make sure you guys, today I didn't make any trades, but we're still trading risk free using Apex. So hopefully you guys take advantage of the 80% off code. It'll last until next Tuesday, so make sure you take advantage of it. I think this is the perfect time to take advantage of it, which means that you can take your shots, right? With $37 per account for the 50K accounts, I think it's way worth taking your shot with it. Now, you gotta work within your means, but I'm saying that, if you can trade with 50K accounts and you can pass one with the risk of just $37, I think that's a really good risk, for what you could possibly gain. You could be funded for free. And the nice thing about the 50K accounts is that you can trade up to 10 contracts on them, which means that one, you can pass them very quickly, right? With one trade with 10 contracts, you can pass it with a 6-point trade, with a 6-point swing. Not recommending to do that, but that's how easy it is to pass it. Plus, also, 10 contracts is plenty. I personally don't know a time where I would really trade more than 10 contracts. That means you need to have, 10 contracts at one time. It's pretty nice. So, pandas, take advantage of it while you can, while it lasts. And hopefully, and the reason why I say 50K accounts is because if you can get multiple of them and use a trade copier, it is life-changing, in my opinion. So, pandas, with that being said, have an amazing weekend. And I hope you guys do something fun. You guys reset the mental capital. For those who are just beginning, still learning strategy, I hope you use the time to study. I hope you use that time because you're hungry and you want it. And you review your charts. You go over the setups. You look at all your bad trades. Try to figure out the rules of what you broke, right? Try to figure out the times you become tilted and you enter bad trades. Figure all those times out and get them out of your out of your system. You do no longer need to see those things anymore. So hopefully you guys can do that, and even for those who've been trading for a long time can still do that. And pandas, with that being said, happy trading. God bless. Have an amazing weekend, everyone, and I'll see you guys on Monday bright and early, 9 o'clock pre-market show, 9:15 on the mainstream. Have an amazing weekend. Bye.